I was thinking about what we all have in common, the women reading across generations tonight, and I kept returning to the idea of mothers and daughters and that relationship, or that archetype, and how we carry that, with how that shifts throughout our life, even often without us knowing it. A lot of that happens unconsciously, I think, but that's what I thought I'd read tonight. So I'm reading 2 mother-daughter poems. And I'm glad Marcia read Indelible in the Hippocampus, because the first poem I'm reading is a Persephone poem, which was called Persephone, which then got changed to Persephone to the Senate Judiciary Committee. So it flows nicely, I think, from that. I'm sure most of you know the Persephone myth, your classic mother-daughter abduction into the underworld story. Persephone to the Senate Judiciary Committee. As his loneliness became backwash at the bottom of his 3rd drink, he slipped into earth, looked around for what wasn't there, knew it was time. He'd seen me before, playing in the field, knew where the sunset would find me. Get in the car, he said. The body is its own animal. It can submit to yes while the mind reaches for a gun. Each of my hands a small grief, grasping as if they could hold light. I tried to resist, shards of glass, a field, a fist, fell into the emptiness of the back seat. And then it was winter. So this next poem is called Mother, and it mentions Mary and Ted, which is Mary Oliver and Ted Kuzer. And when I was first writing it, I was thinking about how every poet really has written about their mother and what that across so much time. And so I was kind of gathering the different ways that poets have talked about their mother. So that's in here, as well as my mother. Every poem about a mother is its own sorrow, its own white iris looking out at the world. Ted's geese resting in the pond, peonies burning circles in the sky. Mary's mother is blue wisteria. A mossy stream behind her house brings order to the world. She tells us to live with the beetle and the wind, to let life untidy us. My mother didn't like to be in nature, but she took great care of her plants, knew their language, smoothed the dark veins of their leaves. Her poem will not contain flowers, no wisteria, no iris delivered from the house of the dead. I'll call it Poem with its head in its hands, and there will be an artichoke, its thirsty shape urging us to embrace its layered heart. Her husband will call it Be the Flame, Renew My Thirst. Her son will call it The Darkness is Not Here to Stay. Thank you.